courses, they give you first of all a diploma that allows you to get insured and teach. Give them a call. Don't be shy. Check if they're there for you. If they're not going to be there for you on the phone, they're not going to be there for you in the course. Look at the photos, you look at the rooms, the beds, you look at the toilet photos. Firstly, I would really recommend to understand when are you going. When you know when you're going, you can start looking for locations who are popular and active and available in this time. So a lot of places in Asia, just like India, has extreme weather, so not everywhere will be appropriate to visit all year round. Sometimes there is extreme heat, sometimes there is the rainy monsoon season. So firstly, you have to check when can you go, and then check what is the season, where is the place of this time of the year that fits where you want to go, where is convenient, where is open. Let's say I have around Christmas free, I would do my research. I would know that in India, the time for Christmas is actually South India. So I would check Goa, Kerala. I wouldn't think of the Himalayas and the north, for example, because I know that at this time of the year it will be cold. Once you have that done, you kind of want to look through some website and notice a few important things. You really want to make sure you look at the photos, you look at the rooms, the beds, you look at the toilet photos. Now, some places are not going to reply to you, some places you won't like, so slowly with this basic moderate search, you're coming down to the funnel and the options are going to narrow down. So once you have a few good ones, you already maybe texted with them, you saw the website, maybe you heard a recommendation, the next thing I would do to make sure it's a good fit for me is actually give them a call, okay? So in India, WhatsApp app is really common and it's free. So you can call them, you can schedule with them a call and see if they are open to talk to you, if they have patience to talk to you, how is their language, how is the communication. So give them a call, don't be shy. Check if they're there for you. If they're not going to be there for you on the phone, they're not going to be there for you in the course. Once you're on the phone with them, you can ask any personal questions, ask about the food, anything you have, and it would be a good time to bring up any personal injuries or any questions that are more about the practice. I do recommend looking for a spirit and style of yoga that you're into. If you like hatha yoga or yin yoga, you'll find courses who are more into this kind of style. So here are a few things that I would ask once calling them. So first of all, I would ask, is there any approach for, let's call it, adaptive practice? So a lot of people in the West, the average Western body cannot do a lot of the yoga poses so easily. Can you help people who are not flexible? Can you help people with injuries? Will I be able to teach people who cannot necessarily straighten their knee all the way, who cannot necessarily stand up for a long time? I'm not saying you need to find the amazing, perfect yoga therapy course, because this is something else and you also learn it while teaching. But there is slight need for this. You don't want to go home and embarrass yourself trying to put your uncle and auntie's basic person in these splits, these handstands, these headstands. You don't want to do that, okay? You want to make sure that the school you go to also teaches a little bit of what can be done with different types of bodies, okay? I'm not saying go into yoga for pregnancy, yoga for cancer, no. But there is room to hear from the teacher that there is some adaptations for some people. This is really important. The next thing I would ask about is yoga props and if they're embedded in the course. So they're coming super handy. They bring yoga to people who could never do the normal poses, and I think they're great. For me, it's a really positive sign to ask, to get an answer from the course leader saying that there is yoga props available, that they can be embedded and there is some touch in them. So there are some towns or areas when it's like yoga teacher training factories, right? So Rishikesh is one in the north, Mysore is one in the south. So if you have the time to come earlier, read the place, look for recommendation, talk to other yoga students, then that would be really great to find the best option for you. This will allow you to also come and kind of explore the yoga school before. You can have a look, you can have a chat with the teacher, and also you might be able to try some of the classes. So in India, a lot of yoga schools open their asana classes for outsiders. It can actually be so smart to go and try a class with a teacher before you sign up for a full course with him. So this brings me to different options for people who want to study yoga in India and not necessarily want to go through the teacher training. And the first thing I would recommend is to go into drop-in classes. So it's just like any studio. A lot of teachers teach at least twice a day, morning and evening. And if you're not interested in a diploma, you just want to practice, this might be a really good thing for you. You can go twice a day, and it's kind of like a own mini independent course. Now, I want to give a small last reminder for anyone who's stressing too much about finding the perfect course for you. Once you start teaching, you're going to learn so much more from what you learn from the course just by seeing people and starting to see how you sequence your own class. Now at last, I want to take some stress off finding the perfect yoga teacher training course, and I'll tell you why. You think that this course is what's going to shape your character as a teacher. It might at the beginning, but in my experience and in many other colleagues that I've heard, what you really learn is through teaching, is through learning from teachers. It's not through courses, okay? The courses, they give you first of all a diploma that allows you to get insured and teach, and second of all, they give you a good base, but this is not where you get most of your intelligence as a yoga teacher. You get it through actually working with people, you get it through sticking to other yoga teachers, to going to them weekly, seeing how they sequence, seeing how they adjust. So you will learn so much more from the actual daily process, the long and steady one. And my last recommendation is to make sure you save some time to travel India itself, not just the yoga course and back home, because after all, the whole yoga culture and philosophy comes from India, and I think it's very enriching to see the local culture outside of the yoga studios. So take the time and travel India, okay? Don't just stay in the studio all day. And yeah, these are my recommendations.